Ask you, what do you think of the town at the moment? Do you think the town's a thriving town?
Yeah, I would think so because to me, I've lived here since 2007. And I think it's a nice town, very friendly people. I've never encountered anyone being rude to me or to the children. So yeah, it's brilliant.
It's good.
Yeah.
There's quite a number of shops around the town which are closed. Do you think that gives a bad impression?
Not a bad impression, depends why they're closing, because I don't know the reason why they're closing. But it would be nice if you have more shops around.
Yeah? Have you heard about the extension to the Castle Quay shopping centre?
Yes, I read it in the papers.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's nice. It's not a problem to me. More shops, better.
Bring more people in?
Yeah, bring more people in, and even for parents to go out, you have much to do with your children, rather than being limited to.
What about out-of-town shopping? Do you think that's a good idea? Do you think that might help the town?
It depends, because some people don't have transport. So if you have to go far away, so it might be hard unless public transport is available. So that can be a problem. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's
Thanks.
all right.
Thank you. Well, what do you think of Banbury as a town at the moment in terms of the shopping and everything that's available?
Well, it's started to deteriorate slightly. I've lived here 7 years. I'm originally from Manchester, and when I first came down here, it was a breath of fresh air. Slowly catching up with Manchester.
Yeah.
Starting to deteriorate. Shops are deteriorating. Places are closing down.
Yeah.
You can see the economy.
There's been an announcement recently about Castle Quay shopping centre being extended across the canal with a new cinema and a new supermarket and things. Do you think that will be helpful?
I think there's two sides to every argument, isn't there? Fortunately or unfortunately. In some ways it creates jobs. In some ways it closes down small businessmen.
Yeah.
The economy is the economy. I suppose it's probably a good thing for some people and a bad thing for others, unfortunately.
What do you think they could do to the town to try and make it a bit more attractive and make it have a bit more sort of an appeal to it?
There's only one answer, isn't there? Jobs.
More jobs.
There has to be jobs, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's all about the economy, it's about nothing else.
Yeah.
Jobs creates wealth, creates money, creates everything.
Yeah.
So there needs to be they need to attract some employers here, whether the call centres, whatever they are, who cares?
Yeah.
It's jobs. It's nothing else.
And if the town's not looking very good, and there's closed shops and things like that, do you think that might stop employers coming to the town?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely. Unless they see it as an opportunity to get something cheap, but it's about nothing else other than jobs, isn't it?
Yeah.
To quote the famous President Clinton, it's economy, economy, economy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You.
Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah. What do you think of the shops in Banbury at the moment?
Well, shops are all right, but there's an awful lot of things like dress shops. It's a good grocers we need in the middle of the town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few shops seem to be closed. There's quite a few closed units around. Has that been happening for a while?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't suppose it'll stop till the recession ends, whenever that is.
How do you think the town could be improved?
Well, grocer shop.
You'd like to see a
That'd
grocer's?
been, not everybody has got a car. And it's bother for some people, really.
Because all the supermarkets are out of the centre of the town.
Yeah, they are.
There's been talk about this new Castle Quay extension on the other side of the canal where there will be a supermarket. Do you think that's a good idea?
On the other side of the canal, I suppose that's not too far away.
Yeah.
It's more or less in the centre. And that over the other side of Bridge Street is a dump.
Yeah.
It really is. It's an eyesore, and it really needs
sorting out.
It is, it really needs sorting out.
So over the last few years, there seems to have been a few of the shops seems to have closed down. Do you think that gives a bad impression of the town?
Well, every town's the same, not just Banbury.
Yeah.
Every town is, we're in recession.
Yeah.
And that's what recession is.
Yeah.
I don't know who's spending the money in the shops we've got.
Yeah.
Everybody's supposed to be so strapped for cash.
Yeah.
So.
And do you think it's important for the town to look good to get employers to move into the area?
To look good.
Yeah. Busy shops, lots of people around buying things, so it looks like a vibrant town. Do you think that's important for business?
Of course it is. If you don't get customers, you don't get a business, do you?
Yeah. Lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks. Actually, you've lived here for a few years. Have you seen a change in the town over the last few years?
No. Actually, depends on people behavior. It's same.
Yeah.
But regarding recent credit crunch, it goes down. Look, all them shops going far away from town center.
Yeah.
You have a next nearby Tesco's. I don't remember how it's called. It's business park.
Yeah.
You have Argos.
Yeah.
Same place. All business running off town center.
Yeah.
Probably it's too expensive.
Yeah. And do you think that's a bad thing for the town when people move out of the town centre like that, when retailers go?
Depends where people shopping. It's easier to shop from Argos because you have a bigger car park than previously over there. But this is town center.
Yeah.
As a couple of properties unoccupied, to let, to rent, whatever.
You've heard about the Castle Quay extension? They're talking about building some more shops and a supermarket and things close to the town centre here, just on the other side of where it is at the moment. Do you think that's a good thing?
To be honest with you, I didn't hear about, but I think it's a good thing because Castle Quay is perfect shopping centre. It's not as big as shopping centre in Milton Keynes. It's our Banburians.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That's great. Appreciate that.
Where can I see myself?
What we're doing, we're making a short film just show.
Really good now to what
Yeah.
it was on going back 50, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's
Very
really
good.
improved.
Which bits have really helped to improve it?
Well, the precinct for a start,
Yes.
So Castle Quay.
and Castle
Yes.
Keys,
Yeah.
and the more shops that we've got now,
Yeah.
to what we had years ago. And the accessibility of the traffic.
And where you can park.
Where you can
the
park
parking's
and-
good here.
Yeah.
And the swimming over at the
Spice Ball.
Spice Ball,
Yeah.
that's
You-
really good.
You're not worried too much about the price of parking because quite a lot of the retailers are worried
No,
about.
we're disabled.
Yeah, we're disabled, so we have a blue
So you're all
badge.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
fine.
Over the last few years, the number of shops in the town centre have closed down. Do you think that's a bad thing?
Yes.
Well,
I do.
yes, it's the rates that the council are charging, I think,
Yeah.
and also the parking is I think it's really expensive if you want to stay down here 3 or 4 hours,
Yeah.
But as I say, it doesn't affect us at the moment. But I think they're the two things. The parking charges is one of the things.
Have you heard about the new Castle Quay extension that they're
Yes.
talking
Yeah.
about? What do you think of that?
Well, I'm not quite sure whether they're going to put glass roof, is it, over there?
Yes, over the top. Maybe it'd be
don't know.
nice, I should think.
Maybe
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're talking about restaurants and cafes and stuff along by the canal and a cinema and a new supermarket. So that would be the closest supermarket to the
Well,
centre
that's
of
a
town.
good thing because older people that live in town, then they've got a supermarket in town.
Yeah, I don't have to go out,
To the retail
park.
centres.
Do you think it's really important to have a good, vibrant town to try and attract businesses in to create more jobs?
Yes, I do. But don't you think they would attract more people if they sorted the parking out, the charges and stuff like that? I think is one of the biggest bugbears in Banbury is the parking.
Well, certainly a lot of the retailers I've spoken to are saying it's a big issue, and you would
Yes.
agree with that?
Yes,
I would.
we would.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're
That's
welcome.
great. Appreciate that. Thanks for your time.
All right.
We're just asking people about the way shopping's changed in Banbury over the last few years. Do you think shopping's changed?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, what with the centre opening, taking a lot of business away from the high street. Yeah.
Gee, there is a lot of shops closed in the centre and also around the rest of the town as well. Do you think that's a bad thing for the image of the town?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I think every approach to Banbury is filling up with charity shops or low money shops, and it's a bad thing, yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard about the extension over the canal, this new Castle Quay extension?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Do you think that's a good idea?
It is a good idea, but once again, it's centralising all the shopping in one bit, and I think the outer part of Banbury will suffer for it.
Yeah. So it's really important that there's help for everybody to try and thrive in terms of businesses then?
I think so, yeah.
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 Do you think there's a good link between the way the town looks and feels and attracting businesses in, which can actually bring more jobs to the town?
Definitely, yeah. The better somewhere looks, the more you'll get people to come visit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
What's it going to be on?
It's a film we're doing for the retailers to try and get them. Obviously, when you come shopping, you've got to think about parking and convenience of parking and price. Do you think that's an issue in Banbury?
Yeah, if you can park for free, you've got more money to spend. I know it's only a couple of quid, but it is a couple of quid. It might buy a cup of coffee, a bit of cake or whatever. It just makes it better rather than worse, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it was free parking in the town, you think that might be a good thing?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
If you were making a choice between coming to Banbury and going to shop somewhere else, would you always come to Banbury or would you go somewhere else?
No, we mostly go to Oxford.
Right.
Don't we? Even though you pay for the parking ride, because we find it a better environment, there's more shops, more variety, and it is a generally nicer place, I think.
Yeah.
You know, there's not one empty shop as you walk down into Oxford. It's that sort of thing.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome.
That's great. Thanks, Dave. Cheers. And what people think of the shops, and because there's quite a few closed shops as well, and we're trying to get people's impression of that.
Yeah.
So over the last few years, I mean, has Banbury changed in terms of shopping?
Yeah, I suppose it's got better here with H&M, but there's obviously some shops that have gone. So.
And do you think that creates a bad impression for the town?
Probably, yeah, because the pedestrianised streets, I don't tend to go up that way anymore because there's a lot of closed shops. So I tend to come in here and then miss that part out. So
right.
Probably, yeah. Yes.
And what do you think about have you heard about the extension of this shopping precinct?
Yeah,
what do you think of it?
That'd be fantastic, yeah. Absolutely.
Do you think it might attract more people to come into the town and they might spend more money in the town generally?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Because you've got a lot of outlying villages around here where, instead of going to Oxford, people would probably come here instead.
Like, a lot of people have said to us they're worried about the cost of parking. Is parking an issue?
Not really. I don't think it's that prohibitive. It's more expensive in Oxford, so it's, I mean, obviously it could be cheaper, but it's not a big issue.
Is there anything in the town at the moment which is missing, which you think might help to bring more people in?
I suppose things like maybe places to eat. Banbury, I think, really lacks some good places to eat. So I mean, you've got McDonald's, but there's not really any kind of family or many family restaurants.
Yeah. And you think if we had some more family restaurants, that might actually attract more shoppers in?
Yeah,
perhaps?
definitely. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
appreciate that. Think about shopping in the town and things like parking and closed shops and whether it creates a bad impression. So I was just going to ask you, have you shopped in Banbury for a good few years?
Yes.
Many years. Has it changed over the years?
Yes, it has, tremendously.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it better now?
It is better. Could still do with some more shops, especially in the centre where there's a lot of the shops have closed down.
Yeah. Okay.
And in The Guardian a few months ago it was saying that there's going to be quite a lot of expansion.
Yeah.
But if the shops that are still closed within the centre, surely they should be filled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What they're doing with the extension is that there's going to be a supermarket and a cinema and then restaurants and bars and things. So they're hoping that by doing that with a few more restaurants might encourage more people to come into the town, and that might bring more shoppers with them. Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, I think it is. Yes.
Okay.
Because I mean, the parking, I think there's quite a lot of parking in Banbury, and I've noticed over the past 3 or 4 years where I park, there's a huge amount of spaces, whereas about 4 or 5 years ago it was always chock-a-block full. But now there seems to be plenty of spaces, which means that maybe people are going out of the town to do the shopping and they need something to bring them back into the town.
So do you think there's a good link between having a successful shopping centre in the town and actually encouraging businesses to move to the area to bring more jobs?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, well, it's always a problem, isn't it? You need to get a variety of shops. At the moment you're losing like the camera shop.
Yeah.
There's very few electrical shops. They're all telephone shops, aren't they? So you're very much down to food stores and clothing wear, which really doesn't encourage people to come into a centre because the variety has been reduced, about 50% reduced from what it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So you need to have a variety and get different people in for different reasons.
Right.
I mean, I would always come in for my camera stuff. There's nowhere in Banbury unless you go up the high street now.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
And one of the other things that people have mentioned to us is they've said that car parking's expensive. Do you think it is?
I think it's pretty average. I mean, if you go into Oxford, it's twice the price that it is in Banbury.
Yeah.
It's cheaper in Milton Keynes. I think it's about 20p an hour in Milton Keynes, the further away from the shops that you park. But as long as it doesn't go up, I don't think it can afford to go up anymore.
Yeah.
But maybe the fact that there is so much parking, it could be that to some people it is expensive.
Yeah. And is there anything else you might like to see in the town which might make it a bit more attractive to people?
Well, if you go into Milton Keynes, there's quite a huge selection of dress stores. Could do with some shops for young children, teenage boys. We've got a couple of grandsons, and there's a bit of a limited amount of shopping that they can do within Banbury. They tend to go to Milton Keynes. They're 15 and 17, but Debenhams used to go up to age 15, but they seem to have stopped at age 11, 12, so there's a gap. There's a gap there now. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thanks
a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Views about what the shops are like at the moment and how they could be improved. Just keep them to a couple of minutes. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, she's awake, but yeah. Okay. So, have you been shopping in Banbury for many years?
No, just recently.
Just recently.
Moved to the area.
Okay. And what do you think of the shops in Banbury? Do you think they're good?
They're okay. Lots of sort of cheap shops, which is good for maternity leave. No, it's not bad. It's pretty handy.
There's quite a few units we've noticed in the town which are closed. Do you think that creates a really bad impression for shoppers?
It's a shame, but that's happening everywhere now. So at least some of them are being filled by lots of little kind of pop-up shops, which is what should be happening. Yeah.
There's an idea that they're going to extend Castle Quay across the canal and bring a multiplex cinema and a supermarket and more restaurants and things. Do you think that's a good idea?
Restaurants, but I don't think they need supermarkets and cinemas, no.
Yeah. You think Banbury's okay?
Yeah, but more restaurants, especially by the canal, would be nice.
Yeah. I mean, do you think there's a clear link between having a good shopping centre and actually creating an environment which is good to attract businesses and create more jobs in the town?
Yeah, definitely. People want to work and be in areas where it's thriving and there are things to do. So yeah.
And is there anything in the town from a shop's point of view that you think's missing that you'd like to see a bit more of?
Probably more high-end clothes shops. Yeah. Because you have to go a bit further for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And quite a few people to us have been talking about parking in the town. Do you think there's an issue with parking?
I find it fine actually, because I used to go to Oxford Mall, which was horrible. So this is actually pretty good for me. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you. She's
yes.
All right. Where'd you come from?
Rugby.
From Rugby. Okay. Right. Can I just ask you, how do you find shopping in Banbury? Do you think it's a good shopping place?
Yes, we came to the shop.
Yeah, between here we go to Milton Keynes as well, and we like you can go up and down the concourse and stuff, especially with the kids.
Yeah.
Plus having the canal helps because they like to see the ducks.
It's a distraction.
Yeah. So, do you think they make enough of the canal?
No,
it's just unless you come here, you don't know it's here. So.
Yeah.
If they put like a picture of it on the website. So.
Because you come from Rugby, you might not know there's a plan to extend this centre over the canal with a cinema and a supermarket and lots of restaurants and bars and things.
Right.
Do you think that might be a good idea?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, make it more of an attractive place to come. Perhaps.
As long as it doesn't make it worse off for the wildlife around the canal, though.
Yeah. You like the ducks?
Yeah,
well,
and
the
swans
the boys like the ducks.
Yeah.
As you can hear.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Some dummies.
Where would you go for dummies? There's a
Superdrug.
Yeah. What do you think of the shops in Banbury? Do you think they're any good?
They're okay. Yeah, they're all right. Not too bad.
How far have you travelled to come shopping here?
Bloxham.
Oh, so it's
So
not
it's
far
not too
then?
far, no.
No. Do you think that Castle Quay's a good centre for shopping in Banbury?
Yeah, it's okay. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
It could do with some cheaper shops, maybe. Some of them are quite expensive, but
We've noticed there's quite a few closed shops around as well. Do you think that's a bad thing? Do you think it creates a bad impression?
well, not with the fashion that's about. No, I don't think so. No.
Have you heard about the extension going over the canal with the cinemas and the supermarkets and things like that? Do you think that might be a good thing?
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah. They're going to build a multiplex cinema and a hotel and lots of restaurants and a new supermarket just on the other side of the canal next to the Castle Quay.
Oh, okay.
Do you think that'd be good?
It'd be quite good,
nice,
Do you think it might attract more shoppers in as well if there's that?
Probably, yeah, younger people, like for the cinema and different things and stuff like that, I think, maybe.
Yeah?
People
Brilliant.
can, yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.